Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to the Phightins final here on the Edge of Philly Sports with your boy Matty B. That's right, they've turned me loose in the daytime. I'm off the midnight graveyard shift, West Coast duty, and here I come at you on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in the Delaware Valley. And what could be more beautiful than a Phillies win? And that's exactly what happened today down there in South Philly, 6-1. The Phillies salvage a game in this series against the Red Sox. They break the 6-game losing streak, and they go into the day off on a positive note, which has been in short supply around these parts lately. So, huge day, huge victory. Everything, we're going to get into the lineup thing here in a second, and Ty Walker with arguably his strongest performance of the season or as a Philly. And today, 6-1 was your final. I guess let's get into that lineup situation. Of course, the big news before the game was Rob Thompson decided to drop Kyle Schwarber way down into that lineup where he should have been in the first place, folks. You know, for me, I've been advocating to get Kyle Schwarber out of that lineup spot since, well, last season. And I was very perplexed to find him back in the lineup spot this year. But after a interesting 8-game string by Kyle Schwarber, where he went 3 for 31 with 13 strikeouts, Rob Thompson decides to move him back down in the lineup. And today, boy, did it pay in a big way as he had a multiple hit game, a home run, and some RBIs to help the cause of the Phillies winning today 6-1. Going now to 16-19 on the season. As I mentioned, they've snapped a 6-game losing streak and salvage a game in this 3-game set against the Red Sox, as they tomorrow will have a day off before hosting the Toronto Blue Jays. I almost said Maple Leafs, but the Toronto Blue Jays on Tuesday for a brief 2-game homestand or 2-game series. It's not 2 games, actually a 5-game homestand, but a 2-game series before heading out west when they will battle the Rockies and the Giants later this week and into the early part of next week. But let's get into this game. Let's go box score for you. Let's talk about the scoring. The Phillies got it going, and they didn't get it going early because I honestly, through the first 3 innings of this game, it was kind of more of the same that we've been dealing with over the past 6 games with the Phillies and their offense. But in the 4th inning, Castellanos would ground to a fielder's choice, knocking in stop to give the Phillies the early 1-0 lead. But then Kyle Schwarber, as I mentioned, had himself a day today, would knock in Harper to make it 2-0 Phillies. And then in the 5th inning, though, Ty Walker with his one only kind of hiccup on the day, Cassis would homer to make it 2-1. But then here comes Kyle Schwarber right on back in the 6th, a 2-run shot to make it 4-1. And then JT with some insurance in the 8th inning, knocking in Castellanos to make it 6-1. And that is your final score. Offensive heroes, I'm going to say it, Kyle Schwarber, 2 for 3, a run, 3 RBIs, a home run, a walk, and only 1 strikeout. He now raises his average up to, I think it was 176 heading into this game. It is now a ripe 188 as Schwarber had himself maybe the best offensive day of the season. And was it the fact that he got dropped down to 6th in the lineup? Was that the reason? And maybe not. Obviously, no manager wants to be proven wrong by the fan base, but we've been crying for this for weeks. Rob Thompson yesterday in an interview pregame said that, you know what, I'm going to go with what I know. And he feels comfortable as the leadoff guy. But then all of a sudden, after another horrible 0 for 5 yesterday, he turns around and drops him down in that 6th slot. And it pays off for the Phillies as Schwarber has himself a 2-hit day, a 3 RBI day, and a home run to boot for the Phillies. On the Red Sox side of things, I guess Cassis would be the only offensive hero of the day for them, 1 for 2 with the RBI and the home run. And that's all as Ty Walker, dominant, best start as a Philly, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He struck out 6 and he gave up that 1 earned run, which was a homer. Alvarado gets credited with the hold. And then Matt Strahm coming out of the bullpen in this save role, 2-inning save, by the way, and picks up his first save of the season. As I guess Matt Strahm is now back in the bullpen. I would take it by the fact that he's coming out of the bullpen on the on the Red Sox side of things. See, I'm still stuck on the West Coast. On the Red Sox side of things, how he got the loss. He went only 5.5, 5 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned, a walk, and struck out 4. Blyer, Brazier, and Lytle came in to pitch for the Red Sox for the rest of the way. And that's how you get 6-1. And that's how you get a 6-game losing streak broken. And that's how we get into the day off on a positive note for the Phillies. And Walter hits, please leave Schwarber at 5 RBIs available there. Yeah, listen, Walter, it is not something that we've been real shy about or been quiet about, but it's funny to me. I sat on this program for what, an entire baseball season last year, complaining and crying and bitching and moaning about why Kyle Schwarber was batting leadoff. Even with last year's lineup, I didn't think he belonged up there. And because he crushed 46 home runs, nobody wanted to say anything or nobody wanted to do anything. But the guy only batted, what was it, 225 for the season? And he hovered around 200 for most of that season. Kyle Schwarber's not a leadoff hitter. I don't care how comfortable he feels because his comfort level does not obviously dictate to hits. And that's what it's all about. It's not about making a player feel good, maybe to a certain extent. It's about winning. It's about doing what you got to do for the team. Kyle Schwarber is never in any era of baseball a leadoff hitter. It's just not working. It doesn't make sense. And today Rob Thompson fixed himself and pushed him down in that 5 hole. And hopefully that's where he stays around 5, 6. Actually, I'm okay with him batting fourth, but that's where he belongs. He does not belong up in that number 1 hole. And I don't necessarily think Stott belongs there either. I think Turner is our leadoff guy, and you got to show that faith and commitment in him. He's showing signs of kind of breaking out of his early season slump. Um, Yesterday, he hit the ball hard. He was 1 for 3 today. He did have a strikeout, but I think you got to be better. I think if you're going to show the same sort of commitment to a Kyle Schwarber, then you know what, you need to show that same kind of commitment to Trey Turner in the leadoff spot. That's where he feels more comfortable, and that's where Trey Turner belongs as a leadoff hitter. Let him figure himself out, just like you let old batting 188 Kyle Schwarber figure himself out, or try to figure himself out. Give Trey Turner that same kind of thing because he deserves it too. Ah, thank you, Walter. Agree, Turner. All right. So yeah, 6-1, which is feeling good. This been a week, man. It's not been a good week for a Philly to be a Phillies fan, and we've had to deal with some really lopsided, uncompetitive baseball. Had us thinking about changing all kinds of things. I still am not all in on this team when it comes to the pitching rotation. Again, I bitched and moaned and cried all off season about their plan, about how they were going about fixing the pitching staff. We lost Eflin, we lost Syndergaard. We replaced them with nobody. All right. We replaced them with Ty Walker and Andrew Painter. That was what the plan was, and it didn't work. And then obviously the Suarez injury didn't help things, but good God, it wasn't enough. Dombrowski did not do enough in the offseason for some pitching help. The bullpen, he addressed the bullpen. It has not worked out, but I'm fairly certain that the bullpen will round in the form eventually. But the starting rotation, the plan was wrong. It was wrong. Trying to rely on Andrew Painter, who never pitched above Double-A, to make the team out of spring training, which of course we never even found out if he could do that because he got hurt. It was wrong, and not to have a backup plan. So the starting rotation has been the bugaboo. The starting rotation has been the Achilles in our tendon in our heel the whole season. And obviously, it's not been necessarily from the backside; it's been on that top side as well. But nothing has really worked for that rotation. But we have lacking depth in the starting rotation. We haven't addressed that yet. Um, I'm going to jump in and give my Bailey Falter 2 cents, and you guys already know it. Bailey Falter is not a starter. He never was. He is a long reliever out of the bullpen. That's where he belongs, and that's where he should be, not as a starter. And the fact that he is indicative to the injury problems that this team has. I'm not out on the Phillies. I'm not saying the season is over, but I don't agree with Bailey Falter in the starting rotation. I never did. The man got 1 out in his one lone postseason appearance, but apparently that was enough to garner a permanent spot in the rotation. Michael Plasmeyer, that kid that almost made the team out of spring training, is killing it down in AAA. Why don't you give him a shot? Bring him up to try to fill in some back end of the rotation depth issues. Give him an opportunity. Bailey Falter needs to come on out of the rotation. He doesn't belong there. That's not his strong suit. He doesn't. I don't know if he has it upstairs yet. I don't know, but I'm not going to place Bailey Falter as the blame for our problems this season, but he's definitely not been a part of the solution, and he needs to come out of the rotation. But that's a conversation for another day. Good win today, 6-1. Yes, we did need a win, Al. We got that win today in a form of 6-1. And as I mentioned, it's great to be back to you during the daytime. I was all starting to lose touch with the reality last week by, coming on at 1:30 in the goddamn AM. But, it's great to be back with you here in the morning or in the afternoon, I should say. Let's take a look around Major League Baseball today. We had a full tilt of games. Most of them have gone final, or some of them, or not most, but a lot of them have. Let's kind of get you caught up on what's been happening in Major League Baseball today. I mentioned the Phillies with a 6-1 big time win. Out there, the top of the seventh in Pittsburgh, it is 5-0 Blue Jays. We will be seeing the Blue Jays on Tuesday, so it's not getting any easier, folks. In the top of the 10th, the Yankees and Rays are tied at 7. That has been a great series. If you have, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to check out that series at all. That has been really some really good, almost playoff like atmosphere of baseball in the month of May. In St. Louis, the Cardinals are all over the Tigers, 12-6 in the eighth. The Marlins over the Cubs, 3-2. The Brewers and Giants are tied 2-2 in the third. At the end of the second, the Rangers and Angels are tied. White Sox and Reds, top of the second, White Sox 7-1 over the Reds. Bottom of the third, Astros Mariners, nothing, nothing. Bottom of the second, out in Arizona, 1-1 between the Nationals and D-backs, and two nights in the 7 o'clock game out there on ESPN is the Dodgers and the Padres. Also, a couple of final. Let's talk about the games that have gone final. The Braves over the Orioles 3-2. The Rockies over the Mets 13-6. So we made up some ground in the NL East. Guardians over the Twins 2-0, and the Royals over the Athletics 5-1. And that is your look around Major League Baseball on this glorious Sunday afternoon. So, folks, you know, moving some players down, getting some players potentially in the better spots in this lineup where they can be more of a factor. Kyle Schwarber's just not a leadoff hitter, and I don't care how comfortable he feels or what his therapist told him. I don't really care about any of that. All right, it's all about wins. It's all about hits. It's all about him doing what he needs to do for the team, and he does more damage down in the middle back end of the lineup than he does at the top. All right. I don't need Kyle Schwarber to set the table with a leadoff solo home run. All right. We have too many of those right now. What is the stat? Actually, I have it right here. It's some gaudy ass. So the Phillies have hit 37 home runs this season. Like 30 of them or 29 of them have been solo shots. That is ungodly. That's horrible, man. That sucks. All right. We need to get guys down in that lineup that can potentially hit 2 or 3 run, or God forbid, a grand slam once in a while. We got to take full advantage of their RBI potential, and that's where Kyle Schwarber belongs, and that's where Nick Castellanos belongs. It's where JT belongs. Um, you're not going to sell me any other way. Trey Turner, Bryson Stott, and Alec Bohm belong in the top of the rotation. And then you start with Bryce Harper and you move your way down the lineup from there. So it is baseball 101. It hasn't changed that much over the years. Analytics be damned. So there you go, folks. Phillies 6-1 winners. There is an off day tomorrow, so no Phightins final tomorrow. But that's why we have a break in the action. Let's talk about this is last week's lineup. Where I guess I'll just kind of sum up what today was. This morning, you had some PM and the AM all across all the time at a special 11 a.m. Broadcast time. We're fighting and final it up, and then the Sixers and the Celtics are doing battle as we speak, and they're going to talk about it at the end of the game today. So make sure that you're tuning in to EOP for the rest of your Sunday sports day. Uh, and don't forget, if you're going to travel like the pros, you need to look no further than Philly Sports Trips. This is just a snapshot of the Eagles trips coming up. I believe the schedule comes out next week. That is the Eagle schedule. So you'll know more about your exact times about when these Eagles trips will be. But that's not all you need to wait for. There's stuff going on right now. You need to head over to phillysportstrips.com for all your Philadelphia sports traveling needs and wants and or desires, because they will try to make your dreams come true. Next Saturday, the Philadelphia Sports Day, the Wiffle Ball Mania, and the Eagles Autism Fundraiser over there at Dolan's down there in Ridley Park. Charlie Manuel, Mickey Morandini, Jamie the Philly Sports Guy, and Hollis Thomas will be there. The event goes from 1 to 8 p.m. EOP will be broadcasting from there. Me, maybe, I don't know. I'm running into some roadblocks now, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be there, but I'm going to try. But make sure you're there, all right? Just because I'm not there, you need to be there. That's it. I get the excuse, you don't. So you need to make sure you're there for a great event and support a great cause. And if you have some workman's compensation, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or criminal law, Rob Cherry, damn, Dave Cherry is the guy you'll want to call. 610-565-0300. Tell Dave EOP, Phightins Final, and Matty B sent you. Don't forget all your if you're jonesing right now to get to that Sixers game, and you should be, go over to Sherry's Tickets Town right now. See what you can do about getting last minute tickets for all those hard to find sports, concert, and theater events at www.sherrystickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. Save an additional 10% when you enter the EOP promo code EOP10. All right, that's it, folks. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the rest of my Sunday, and I suggest you do the same. But don't forget, we will be coming back at you on Tuesday night following the Blue Jays game. And then every other, it's a pretty light week in Philadelphia Phillies this week. We got 2 games with the Blue Jays. We got day off tomorrow, 2 games with the Blue Jays, day off Thursday, and then the weekend with the Rockies, and then next week in the Giants. The Phillies broke their 0 for May. Yeah, they're now 1-5. So that's good. We got to stay away from that 10-18 that we had last May. So 1-5 so far for the month of May. Big time victory. Solid pitching effort from Ty Walker. Solid hitting from this lineup that's been really questionable. This is what the lineup needs to be for a little bit. We need to show that type of we need to be this way. We need to give these guys an opportunity to settle into their roles. No more tinkering around. Let this thing be the way it is until we get some more players. I mean, I don't know how much more you can tinker. Let the dogs lie. Let the sleeping dogs lie. And for all those pro Fire Thompson people out there, again, I'm not a big Rob Thompson fan. I got you, man. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to go to the rack for the guy. But you got it. You just can't do that. You can't fire. You just can't keep firing managers, man. You gotta try to like work your way out of these problems. This team is what it is, and it is what it is. So he's got to do the best that he can do out of these guys. It's a talented team. They're just underperforming, and it's the manager's job to figure it out. I think he can do it. So let's just kind of pump the brakes on all that talk for now. But that's going to do it for me. But before I go, I'm here on Sunday. So as customary, when I host on Sunday, we're gonna finish up with this last segment. I love this segment. I wait for it all week long. This is what was your week in Philadelphia Phillies home runs. Till we talk again, go Phils.
There's Realmuto. And he drives one deep down the line in left field. Alvarez looks at it. Realmuto looks at it. It's gone. JT Realmuto into the Crawford boxes. That's his 3rd of the year, and the Phillies tie the game at 1.
That's achievement.
Left field, Alvarez still going back, now turning and looking, and it's gone. Cody Clemens, homers yesterday, homers today. It sneaks over the Crawford box, and a big home run for the 8-hitter here in Houston, where his dad was a hero.
Put on the Longhorn side. Phillies down 5-0. And Kyle Schwarber hooks one down toward the corner, toward the pole, and it's gone! Just inside the pole. Jason Hayward gave it a look, but that's the shortest part of this ballpark. And Kyle Schwarber has his 7th home run of the year.
He is so stinking strong. He didn't even get this right off the end of the bat, and he's still strong enough to hit it out to right field.
I didn't know if he was going to hook. Out towards center field. They may have gotten their first hit. Outman's going back toward the fence. It's gone! Straight away center field, Trey Turner. His 3rd home run of the year. And the Phillies do get their first hit. They get their first run. It's a 3-1 ball game.
Welcome back to Chavez Ravine. He goes out big boy land.
2. Harper lifts one deep left center field. Right on cue. It's gone. His first of 2023.
He has such a unique attack the baseball swing. But
that's Jeff Hoffman. Lifted deep to left. Trey Turner. His 2nd home run of the week. And it's back to a 3-run game, his 4th of the year.
That just goes to show you off balance how much power he has. He's a little guy that, I mean, not little, but he's a shortstop that he's got power.